help you to fall asleep, help you to relax. And this story is in a series that's one of my favorite children's books. It is called Bear and Bird. It is similar to, say, Frog and Toad, where we have a pair of animal friends who go on some very interesting adventures together. So, get comfortable, get cozy, and let's begin. Bear and Bird. The test, the day, the cave, and the umbrella. Here we have Bear's house and Bird's house. Our first story, the test. Bird was at Bear's house, looking at some of his old photographs. "Hey, Bear, I didn't know you could play tennis," said Bird. "And in this one, you have a scarf. When did you get a scarf? And here you're flying a kite. I've always wanted to fly a kite. Why didn't you ask me along?" "Oh, that's not me," said Bear. "That's my cousin Marty. He looks a lot like me." "You look exactly like him," said Bird, peering carefully at the photographs. "But, Bear, how do I know you are you and not Marty?" It was a good question. Bear thought for a second. I don't know," said Bear. "We'll have to do a test to see if you are you," said Bird, getting out a notepad. "Okay, first question. What is your name?" "Easy. My name is Bear," said Bear. "Second question," said Bird. "Do you like cake?" "Yes," said Bear. Everyone likes cake." "Third question," said Bird. "Will you give me a piggyback to the big hill?" Bear nodded, and off they went. "Faster, Bear," said Bird. "The real bear goes much faster." "Now, can you push me on the tree swing? Is this still part of the test?" said Bear. Yes, higher. I'm noting all this down," said Bird. Bear was trying his best to be himself. "Right. Next question. Can you name all your best hiding places for hide and seek?" said Bird. "Even the one that you never find me in?" said Bear. "Especially that one," said Bird. But then, Bird noticed that Bear wasn't looking like himself. He usually looked a lot happier. She suddenly felt very bad. "Okay, Bear, it's the end of the test. The results are in. You passed. You are you," said Bird. But Bear still didn't look very happy, even when she handed him his bear certificate. "Definitely Bear. Congratulations." "The real Bird wouldn't make me do all those things," said Bear. "She's nice. I'm not sure that you're the real Bird, Bird." "I am the real Bird. I am," said Bird. Bear nabbed the notepad. "Well, there's only one way to find out." Question. Said Bear, "I'll have to conduct a test." Question 1. "What is your name?" Bird, said Bird. Question 2. "Can you scratch my back? It's really itchy." And so Bird scratched Bear's back until he believed that thought Bear. If only I could remember why. Perhaps it's my birthday. But Bear didn't feel older. I wonder if it's walk backward day, thought Bear. He looked out of the window. Everyone was walking forward, so it wasn't that. Is it Bird's birthday? Thought Bear. That's it. It must be Bird's birthday, and I didn't say anything all morning. Oh, dearie me. Bear got to work on a surprise party. He blew up some balloons, quickly wrapped up a present, and headed to their favorite meadow. Now, over at Bird's house, Bird looked at her calendar. Today was circled in red. Today must be a very important day, thought Bird. Perhaps it's my birthday. But Bird didn't feel older. I wonder, is it no talking day, thought Bird. She popped her head out of the window and could hear Pig having a loud conversation about toast. So it wasn't that. Is it Bear's birthday, thought Bird. That's it. It must be Bear's birthday, and I didn't say anything all morning. Oh, dearie me. She got to work on a surprise party. She quickly wrapped up a present, packed some nibbles, and headed to their favorite meadow. Bear spotted Bird, and Bird spotted Bear. Surprise, said Bird. Surprise, said Bear. They both sang the birthday song to each other. Thanks for the 800-piece puzzle, Bear, but the thing is, it's not actually my birthday. I thought it was yours, said Bird. Thanks for this big bag of chewy sweets, Bird, but it's not my birthday either, said Bear. So, if it's not your birthday or mine, then why is today so important? I'm not sure, said Bird. I think today might be just another day. And she started packing away the party things. Bird, perhaps we could just have a party anyway, now that we have all the party things, said Bear. And so they did. They played songers, they did the dance. Bird drank fizzy cherry aid until bubbles came out of her beak. And they both had such a good time celebrating that they got out their calendars and planned a random day to do it all again, circled in red so that they would definitely remember. But do you think they will remember? And will Bird finish that 800-piece puzzle of a horse? And will anyone ever remember that today is Snail's birthday? The cave. Later on, Bear and Bird met up with everyone for games. Let's play Boing Boing, said Badger. Everyone get into teams of two. Oh, good, said Bear. I love Boing Boing. Psst, Bird. What's Boing Boing? The rules of Boing Boing were to catch and bounce a ball. Badger kept score. Here comes the boing, said Squirrel. Bear and Bird were really concentrating. The ball boinged over Bird's head, then between Bear's legs. Losing the ball, minus 237 points, announced Badger. Oh dear, Bird let out a little sigh. Bear looked at Bird, then he looked at the leaderboard. It's okay, I'll get it, no problem, said Bear. I'm very brave. Everyone was quiet. You see, no one had ever actually gone into the creepy cave. They had heard lots about it, though. Apparently, it was full of stinky goo. Apparently, mushrooms would follow you around and call you names. Apparently, if you ever went in, you'd be lost forever and ever. Wait, said Bird, we'll be brave together. She held Bear's shaky paw, and they both took a big breath. The others watched nervously. Bear and Bird decided that they could be braver with their eyes closed. So they shuffled in between the rocks, feeling for the missing ball. Bird, said Bear, if we only open one eye, perhaps it will only be half as scary. They both opened one eye and then the other. There's a bubbly water pool, said Bear. There's yummy looking fruit, said Bird. This place is amazing. Look at the pretty buzzy bugs, said Bear. And he found the ball behind a waterfall. We'll take the ball back in a minute. I just want to try this twisty water slide, said Bird. Eventually, they brought the ball back. Everyone was very impressed. So brave, said Rabbit. Yep, that's it, said Bird, with a big wink to Bear. You're all wet, said Badger. That's the spooky goo. It's not from a twisty water slide, said Bear. It was Bear's turn again. He winked said Bear. I guess it's time to be brave again. Oh well, if we must. Bear and Bird looked for the ball for 3 whole hours. They decided that they should give the creepy cave a new name, something a little less creepy. And when they told the others about their amazing discovery, everybody forgot all about Boing Boing and the silly leaderboard and got in line for a turn on the water slide. The umbrella. Bear had been reading the Mr. Bunkett's The Explorer stories that he had borrowed from Mouse's story truck. He loved them so much, he decided he wanted to explore the Woody Wood all by himself, just like Bunkett's. It was getting quite late, and he didn't want to get lost, and so he did what Bunkett's did in the stories and took a bag of candies with him. Every few steps he dropped a candy. That way, when he wanted to find his way back, he could just follow the candy trail all the way home. What could go wrong, thought Bear. Meanwhile, Bird was in her garden playing with a new umbrella. An umbrella that wasn't just any umbrella. An umbrella that was a magic flying umbrella. Well, Bird thought so anyway. It didn't always work, and she hadn't quite gotten the hang of steering yet, but Bird couldn't wait to show Bear. Bear's going to love this, thought Bird. Oh, imagine the places we'll go and the things we'll see, riding our magic flying umbrella. But when she got to Bear's house, he wasn't there. Bird read the note and then spotted a candy on the ground. Bear wandered through the woods. He said hello to bugs. He tested the puddles for splashiness, and he made up a song about a particularly shiny pebble. Shiny, shiny, shiny little pebble. Then he sat down on a log. Bear had explored as far as his bag of candies would take him. Being an explorer was good, but he decided it would have been better with a sidekick. 2 explorers are better than 1. If Bird was here, thought Bear, it would be more fun. Nice hat. And then all of a sudden she was. Hi there, Bird, said Bear. What are you doing here? I was looking for you. I followed the trail of your favorite candies on the ground. You must have a hole in your bag. But don't worry, Bear, I collected them all. Here you are. Bear looked at the bag of candies. He let out a little scream. It wasn't the reaction Bird had expected. Bear began to panic. Bird, that was the trail back home, said Bear. We're lost. Oh gosh, this never happened to Mr. Bunkett's. Oh no, said Bird. I am so sorry. What are we going to do? And what's a Bunkett's? They nervously chewed through the bag of candies. That made them feel a bit better. But once they had finished them, they went back to panicking. The sun was setting, and the woods were getting dark. Wait a minute, said Bird. My magic flying umbrella. Bear blinked a few times, and then said, What? My magic flying umbrella, said Bird. It's why I was looking for you. I wanted to show you the umbrella. Bear looked at the very normal-looking umbrella. But, Bird, said Bear, there's no such thing as a magic flying umbrella. Just then, a big gust of wind lifted the umbrella into the air, and Bear and Bird were flying high above the Woody Wood. It really is magic umbrella, yelled Bear. How do you steer this thing? I don't know, said Bird. And that's when the umbrella decided to make an impromptu landing on Mouse's story truck, just after she had arranged the books in alphabetical order. Bear and Bird helped Mouse put the books back neatly before she closed up, and when they got back to Bear's house, they decided to make up their own bedtime story. It was about 2 brave explorers, one called Bear and the other called Bird. I hope you enjoyed the story. There are, I think, 2 or 3 other Bear and Bird books. I have one of them here. So, if you enjoy these as much as me and would like to read And you can now